of an intro.
Well, I officially lost my voice right before
Did you
this
actually?
podcast. Nah, maybe. We'll see.
So, Steen, Andrew Steen, welcome to the podcast.
A-Steen 13.
A-Steen 13. What's your YouTube channel and stuff? I'll put all that stuff up.
That's A-Steen 13.
Okay.
A-S-T-E-E-N.
You got Twitter? You on the Twitters?
I'm on the Twitters.
What's your Twitter?
I think it's A-Steen 13.
Oh, okay.
I think everything is A-Steen 13.
Okay. Well, so this is Let's Talk Mazda. As you know, you have two Mazdas.
Two of them.
So what do we want to talk about first? Because they're both, I feel like, equally interesting.
Let's talk about the Miata first, because that's
the mi-yacht.
The mi-yacht, because that's the one that kind of got me into Mazdas and kind of working on cars in general. Originally I got into cars playing Forza 2 in my basement, but when was it? Not this past October, the October before that, 2016, I picked this up because I wanted something cheap and fun and easy to work on.
Right, and you actually drove it around, right? This was like your car.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I paid for it all myself. It was like my first, just my car. So, picked it up, drove it for 5 or 6 months, 5 months. Then I had a couple issues with it, like the soft top would leak, and that caused some
typical
rusting.
Miata problems.
Yeah. But then the owner didn't tell me before I picked it up that the tires were like almost as old as the car.
Okay.
So like 26-year-old tires.
Jeez.
How
many miles were on it when you got it, when you picked it up?
It wasn't that bad. It was like 87,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But original tires? Jeez.
Yep.
Okay.
So I drove it around, like I said, for a few months, and it was a ton of fun. I put it in storage for a little while, and then in February, it was just a really nice day, and I decided to take it out and cruise for a little bit, and it was really busy on Randall in Batavia, just a busy main road.
Yeah.
And I was following this woman she wasn't driving super erratically, but it was pretty stop and go, and I turned away for like literally 2 seconds to look at some really nice looking Corvette or something in the oncoming lane.
A Corvette?
Yep. LS engines kill.
I guess so, because how does this story end?
It ends in me...
Thanks, Mike.
That's bad audio!
He can't hear you. He has his headphones in. So how does the story end?
So the story ends, I rear-end her, and sorry, that's distracting me. I rear-end her, and the entire front of the car is pretty much caved in.
Yeah.
The radiator, the AC condenser, all that. So I had the idea for a build, like, December, January after I got it, that I was watching Gingium, which is kind of like what got me into Mazda specifically, and I had the idea that I wanted to do YouTube, and then I crashed my car, but I had the idea to make a mi-yacht-a specifically because my Miata is Mariner Blue, and I thought of the pun.
So, it's funny because you keep looking that way. The Miata is literally right down there in the shop. So, you're turning it into a boat?
Yep, amphibious vehicle.
So like, what's your plan? Because I know you have the bow all welded up and stuff like that, but like, what's your propulsion plan?
So, the bow is going to be filled with foam to offset the weight specifically of the engine, and then I'm going to have pontoons on either side for the rest of the car, and then in back I'm going to have an outboard motor just like any other boat, and I want to, if I can figure it out, I'm going to have like the passenger side be the boat driving side. And have all the controls and the little steering wheel for that, too.
That would be actually really cool.
Yeah.
So, you're building a Miata boat, which is awesome, but we were working on your other Mazda project today, which I'll cut to some clips of. What's going on with that one?
So I have a 93 RX-7. It was in a flood.
Right.
And the water was up to the windows, and basically it was just in a parking lot. The shop was like, the parking lot was on a hill, and there was like a concrete wall at the end of it, and the sewer system backed up, so it all just filled down there, and guess where the RX-7 was?
Yeah.
Right in the bottom, so it filled up like to the windows. So I got it for super cheap, and I figured if I got it out like right when it happened, it might have been salvageable, but like as time went on, I realized that
and especially
not.
After today, we cracked the 13B open, and it wasn't great, if I'm honest. So you said you're gonna get another engine, or are you gonna crate or because I know Atkins has a couple of unopened like Mazda crate engines.
Really?
They're expensive. They're like $7,000, but they have unopened OEM Mazda engines. But so how are you gonna get your engine then?
I've just kind of been looking around. I was actually in talks with a guy, not super seriously, just yesterday about getting another REW.
Okay.
So just kind of looking around, still definitely going REW.
Yeah. No piston swaps.
No piston swaps.
Good.
And the engine that was in it that flooded was a 99 spec, which kind of sucks.
I didn't know that it was a 99 spec that flooded.
Yeah, so I have the 99 turbos.
Okay.
Which are a really neat item, and
Are they salvageable?
Not so sure.
I saw them down here on the shelf. They're a little rusty, but I see people can work wonders with the resurfacing and stuff, so I'm not sure on that, but
yeah.
So
we'll see what we can do and what we can salvage, and hopefully it all works out.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for that car? Otherwise, obviously, the engine's going to be the biggest thing to tackle.
Yeah.
But what are your plans otherwise? You want to do, body kits? You want to track build it, drift build it?
I think kind of just like a sick sort of road car that I can bring to the track. Kind of like how Gingium has his Miata, except
Rotary.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, but just sort of the same sort of thing he does with it, not following what he's doing, but just a really fun daily-ish sort of car that I can bring to the track and just have a really fun time in.
Right. Do you have any other modifications that you want to do, or?
Probably, depending on the engine I get. I'm sure at some point I'm going to, but a big single turbo swap, E85. ECU, that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah. Kind of simple, not bolt-ons, but simple.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Are you gonna port the new engine?
I think so.
Okay. Do you know what port you want to do?
I think just a pretty modest street port.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
I don't think I want a bridge port or anything. 'Cause do those come with problems of their own?
From what I've collected and stuff, bridge porting basically it's gonna make the car harder to daily. You idle at a higher RPM because you need to push more fuel and air through to keep that rotor spinning. Other than that, though, as long as it's done correctly, I mean, everything with rotaries is up to the preparation. If you have an engine built correctly, it'll last 200,000 miles. If it's maintained properly, again, it'll last that long, all that stuff. Yeah. So it's really in the preparation. If you get it professionally ported, I don't think you should have an issue. But, Adam, back me up on this. If he gets it professionally ported, he won't have, any problems, right?
Depends on your port.
Bridge port. We have Rotary Master Adam in the house downstairs.
Depends on how aggressive your bridge port is. I mean, you can have a real small bridge port where you got a nice bridge, but you're not going to get a lot of power out of it, and that'll last. But if you go really extreme, there's always that possibility of it cracking or eating a seal. So
There's your answer from the Rotary Master, who will be on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll get Adam on the podcast.
All these Rotary guys.
All the Rotary guys. I mean, I'm also down to talk to Miata guys on this. So
Yeah.
and
Just any Mazda guys,
Speed 3.
Speed 3
I'd love to
guys.
talk to the guys at like Cobb Tuning and stuff. That'd be really cool
That'd be
because I know
really
they do
cool.
a lot of stuff for Mazda, for Speed 3s especially, and also Cork Sport and them. So what project do you want to finish first? Like, what's your baby project?
That's a rough question. Whatever I have the parts to finish first. Because the Miata is going to take a lot of welding and a lot of like fabrication work, obviously, because I'm turning a car into a boat.
Right. That has issues of its own, yeah.
Yeah, but if I can find like a reasonably priced REW and just throw it into my FD
Yeah.
and just solve whatever problems come along with that. Basically, like, I want to work on them side by side, and whatever finishes up first.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. It's going to take a lot of work, especially I don't know how you're going to turn a Miata into a boat, but I'm excited to see it. I'm sure you guys will see it on this channel, as well as Steen's channel.
Yeah.
Again, I'll put all that stuff in the beginning and that sort of thing. Which also, Steen is in a competition to 1,000 subscribers. Wherever Matt's somewhere, Mike is somewhere. We're in Red Mist Automotive, which they are also in the challenge. You're trying to keep your leg hair, as I hear.
Trying to keep my leg hair. Ideally, not
Who's
get
the
it
competition
waxed off.
between?
It's
you,
Mike and Matt.
Mike and Matt at Red Mist, which is where we are right now.
Danny, who's over there. I forget. There's like, Steve Doherty.
Okay.
I think he's like a professional race car driver. I forget exactly. I have a group chat though. I'll look it
Wow.
up.
Okay. So basically, they're in this race to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to go check out Steen's channel, that would greatly be appreciated. You're hovering around 730 right now, something
Right
like
around
that.
there, yeah.
And the losers have to shave their legs, right?
Yeah, the first one that gets to 1,000 is the only one that doesn't have to shave their legs, and they get to pick how the others do it.
Oh, I didn't know that there was
Yeah.
like a how to do it.
We
little
just
section.
added
So-
that on.
I feel like whoever's gonna do it is gonna choose wax. I mean, it's the most painful, right?
Mike was talking about Gorilla Tape, and I'm not too thrilled
Oh.
about that idea either.
Mike is an insane madman wherever he is down there, but that's horrible. He was
thinking-
saying spray paint too. I don't know how that works.
Neither do I. Maybe just like
Plastic
dip?
it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Oh, there's Mike back with his grinder. He's working on what is that thing?
it's an old Celica. I'm not sure what year, but it's
Mike's cutting the roll cage to an old Celica. It's actually pretty gnarly.
actually a really sick car, and it's all-wheel drive.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that those things were all-wheel drive. I saw that it was like rally spec, like it has like the old OZ racing wheels and the mud flaps and all that stuff. But
I think this is the last year that they offered all-wheel drive.
okay, anyone who knows Celicas can probably picture what that is.
Yeah,
That thing's sick.
it's a
Though.
really cool-looking car, though.
Yeah. So okay. So what's your dream Mazda build? All right. So like money's not an issue. You can go 4-rotor, 3-rotor twin turbo, any chassis, anything Mazda. What's your ideal build? No money.
Honestly, probably like a 3-rotor FD.
Yeah.
The FD is obviously a beautiful car.
Yeah.
So
Which I still haven't driven one or like even been in one.
Neither have I. I've been in one. It smells bad.
That's okay, yeah. So wait, you haven't even driven a rotary. Let's talk about
Oh,
that for
yeah.
a little bit. If you've never driven a rotary engine, but you have an
Never.
FD, and we just cracked the 13B open.
I like to do things backwards.
So have you ever been in one? Have you ridden in an RX-7?
I have. I've not driven. I've ridden in Caleb's and Gingium's.
Okay.
Just passenger for a little while. We went to like Portillo's or something.
Yeah. His is it's an S5, so it's decently quick.
Yeah,
but
not turbo.
I've never driven a forced induction rotary either.
Really?
I've driven
Just
9
carbureted
different
ones?
rotaries, or no,
Oh,
10
no.
different rotaries, and they've all been NA. I've driven
Oh, yeah,
one
yeah.
RX-8. I've driven every year, but '89 FC. I've driven every single year
Really?
of FC except for '89. And then I've driven 3 different FBs. Never driven an SA.
I've been meaning to ask, did you get to drive that Cosmo?
No. That's my friend who I hope to also get on the podcast, Ryan Berg. He has the Cosmo down in St. Louis. I did not get to drive that. He's the only person that has driven that car in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, that's his baby, and I totally respect that. That's awesome. But yeah, no, I didn't get to drive that. That would be really cool, though. Hopefully one day I'll drive a Cosmo. But yeah, he has. I think he's about to take delivery of his 9th Mazda that he has at once.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he has 2 garages, and I'm sure I'll get him on the podcast at some point.
That'd be an awesome podcast.
Yeah, because he could talk Mazda. His dad was a Mazda Master Tech for 40 years. He worked at Mazda for 40 years. For his birthday, they manual swapped his dad's Mazda minivan. So it was a Mazda MPV that they manual swapped, which was really cool. But we'll hear all those stories later. But yeah, no, that Cosmo was sick. It's the power of the 20B is really interesting because it feels like the whole car as a whole feels like a big V8 Cadillac. It's not like boost hits you and you're thrown into your seat. It's just so smooth.
It's just a really big luxury car.
Yeah, and it's super comfortable. Even the back seats are really comfortable, even though it's a coupe.
Really?
Yeah. The doors are huge. The back seats, it's like that weird, I don't know if you've been in a lot of JDM cars, but they don't use cloth like we have in America. It's like a cotton sort of. It's super luxurious. It's so nice.
But the Japanese, as far as their luxury cars go, have always been really about the back seat and the executive drive around.
Oh yeah. Which is really cool. I mean, they're not huge back seats because it's the coupe.
Yeah.
But that car is really cool. So, and that engine's powerful. I didn't know before I did a video about the Cosmos. I didn't know that they were all twin turbo. So all the 3 rotors are twin turbos, which is really cool. So that'd be really cool, as you were saying, to throw into an FD.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a really cool build.
Mm-hmm. I know a guy who's planning on doing an NA 20B build.
Oh, really? In what?
In his FD.
Oh, okay.
And I was... that's actually who I got the wing from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to say you have been collecting some parts. I know you don't want to spoil all the parts that you have collected for it, but have you collected some parts for the FD that you do want to share? Or any you can say or leak?
Yeah.
Leak.
So I have a front and rear bumper, some side skirts. Actually, it came with a front bumper, and that's kind of ugly.
I was just about to say, I didn't want to say anything before you said it. It had an ugly body kit on it. And it was missing the pop-ups.
Yeah.
It's missing the pop-ups.
So that is one thing. I have, I talked in a past video about how I was planning on getting pop-ups.
Yeah.
I have gotten them. I just haven't installed them yet.
Were they? Oh, yeah, those are them up on the shelf. Oh, sick. My friend had, a lot of trouble finding pop-ups. I don't know if you did, too. Yeah.
I'm just in some Facebook group, saw some for a reasonable price. Everything FD is $300.
Yeah.
So.
Do they have the painted lids? I can't see. On
No, I think it's just the plastic, but I'm gonna wrap it before I paint it.
Well, but it has the tops of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, a lot of people a long time ago, I was talking to some FD guys, and they're saying that's one of the biggest issues is that people will lean on those plastic covers and crack them.
Really?
Yeah, and then they'll be driving on the highway with the headlights down, air will go under it and flip the plastic pieces up. So if you have an FD parts car or something, to grab those. So I'm actually impressed that you have those top covers. What color did you want to do? You were saying a purplish, right?
Down the line, I want a pretty dark purple with a black metal flake, and I think that'll be really
Paint
cool.
Or a wrap or something?
Paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like people are kind of skewing back towards paint. Wraps were in for a while, but I feel like a lot of people are going back to that.
I do have a wrap for it right now that I don't want to reveal the color for yet.
Oh.
But I am really excited about that.
So you're going to wrap it and then down the line you'll paint it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because, I mean, I really like my car right now is the Montego.
Yes, Montego Blue. Montego.
Something like
Montego
that.
Blue.
Yeah.
My other friend's FD was in that color as well.
I really like that color, but it's just not really me and what I want to see from my car.
I think that color, the Montego Blue, I think it looks really good stock with like maybe some different wheels. Mm-hmm. Maybe like a little type, Spirit R wing.
Yeah.
I think that looks super clean, but like once you like build it, I don't think the color stands up as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're going to be switching that up. That'll be really good. Well, thank you for coming on my podcast. This was fun.
Thanks
we'll
for
do a
having me.
little 20-minute podcast.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, 20 whole minutes. There it is. We'll get longer as the days go on. But Steen, thank you. Where
Thank
can the
you.
people find you? Steen13 on YouTube.
On YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not really super active on Twitter, but
Okay.
I'll post something on Instagram every once in a while.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
There goes a sight from my soul.